helped UCLA advance when she won the uneven bars title. UCLA joins Oklahoma, Missouri, and Utah in the finals on Saturday. You can catch the national finals live on ABC. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, this is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and for over 20 years, Parkside Economic Development Corporation has served Leimert Park and surrounding communities, empowering tomorrow's leaders and changing lives. Parkside EDC has awarded over $400,000 in college scholarships while sharing economic principles of the Big Five of money with students and their families. Parkside EDC partners with organizations like the Brotherhood Crusade to assure our youth have the financial acumen to succeed. Parkside EDC provides families and businesses with financial insights, offering free online, on-site, and on-air B-Warp presentations. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Programs helps our community acquire, sustain, and pass down legacy wealth. High school seniors can apply for this year's scholarship awards at parksideedc.org. Scholarships will be awarded at Parkside EDC's Gospel/Jazz Brunch on Sunday, April the 27th. For details, tickets, or donations, please visit parksideedc.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Brown skin, you know I love your brown skin. I can't tell where yours begins, I can't tell where mine is. Brown skin, up against my brown skin. Need some every now and then. People from maybe Mississippi or an island. Apparently your skin has been kissed by the sun. You make me want a Hershey's kiss, your licorice. Every time I see your lips, it makes me think of honey-coated chocolate. Your kisses are worth more than gold to me. I'll be your almond joy, you'll be my sugar daddy. Brown skin.
Yeah, we're talking about your brown skin today. Dr. Paul Wallace joins us. He's a medical doctor, MD, MPA, celebrity cosmetic dermatologist. He does medical dermatology services in Ladera Heights at the Wallace Skin and Body Institute. He has natural and alternative approaches to dermatological problems, including acne, eczema, and more. We're going to talk a lot about your skin. We're taking your phone calls if you've got a question, you got a problem. I had someone come up to me at the Altadena Town Hall meeting, and they were looking for Dr. Paul Wallace. Heard something on the show that sounded like something she needed. And I said, you're in luck. He'll be on with us Friday. So if you are her, or anyone else that has a question or comment around your personal well-being, 800-920-1580. Dr. Paul Wallace, welcome.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, family.
Yes, indeed. So you actually specialize, your skin is brown.
It's brown.
It's
for
brown,
sure.
yeah.
Dark brown. Chocolate brown.
Chocolate brown. Yeah. Mine is light brown. But you actually specialize in melanated skin. And I say that because I've heard some doctors and scientists say, well, there's no difference. Skin is skin. But you don't agree.
Oh, no. We all know there's a difference with regards to skin, the way that it looks, the way that it feels. I commonly say, as I said before, there's a difference between black skin and white skin. He said, what's the difference? I said, it's the difference between cornbread and Jiffy Mix. So, you got to make cornbread and understand the things that go in it, what's going to make it rise, what's going to make it glow. all of these things. You can't just turn on the switch that so many other places do, or unfortunately they give the information to black folks that, oh, this can't be done. Even Dr. Google says things can't be done, and they're done all the time.
Dr. Google. Yeah. Dr. Google, like lasers. Like we've been told that black folks' skin can't tolerate lasers because of the keloid scars and such.
Yeah, it says that, and we can actually use some laser on keloid. The fact is, as it is across ubiquitously, medicine is the same way. They have not looked and prioritized black skin or black folks. So there are a few of us that are out who say, no, this is what our specialty is going to be. We're going to dive right in and pretty much take the information that we learned. And as the person before me said, Saturday school. What is it that we're going to learn specifically about skin of color? The differences and what we need to do about that.
Yeah, we've had our ongoing conversation over the years about this. And there's a lot of myths and a lot of truisms, things we got from our mama, our grandmama, or whatever about our skin, what it can and cannot do. And one of the things that you've shared with me and other doctors as well is that when it comes to anything, black people's reactions or their needs are less studied by the medical establishment than other people.
Absolutely true. And the problem is that if you don't do this extra study, it's almost like learning a foreign language. For us to learn Swahili, you've got to do something outside of what the norm, what the general education teaches you, because it's pretty easy for me because I got black skin.
Right, you just experiment on yourself.
So yeah, I know, say, oh no, that works. And every black person, every person of color who looks at something, we'll look at these different commercials. A good example is our shampoos. Well, I get medications that say you put it on your hair for 20 minutes or on your scalp, you put a plastic bag on and you shampoo every day. That ain't happening with regards to certainly black folks and certainly black females. So being able to say, no, what I want you to do with this medication is to use it like your regular hair oil. I want you to minimize it, but every day I want you to part and put this on. You do not need to wash it off, and keep your regular shampooing routine. Just the ability to say that is such a wide range of things that you need to know.
I mean, that's cultural competency. Right now, you're talking about a medication we would need to put on my scalp. And yes, if it requires me to wash my hair every day, that ain't happening.
It ain't happening.
Not for no black woman. So most of us.
Well, and the part too is,
so
I don't want to give, as I deal with my patients, I don't want to give you anything that you aren't going to do.
Right.
So I'll ask you, are you going to be able to take this 3 times a day? You say no. Okay, then we have to go a different route. And it's being able to individualize the type of care with the understanding and experience that counts. And I really urge all skin of color folks listening is that you need to find someone, if not myself, who understands our skin. They are the ones who should be treating you.
Yeah, I mean, seems like a no-brainer, but apparently it's not. One of the diseases that's most noticeable with black folks is vitiligo. I remember the controversy about whether Michael Jackson had it or didn't have it.
The Michael Jackson disease.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson disease. You're doing a study on that. Tell me about that and why.
Well, one of the things is that there's such a contrast in terms of color. Now, understanding vitiligo is an autoimmune, meaning that something within your body is attacking the color-producing cells. The good news is that we haven't found anything that's going to affect your health in the short or long run, but there is a cosmetic part of that contrast between a porcelain white. Listen, this is not, I'm a little bit lighter in that area. Oh no, this is like toilet bowl white in those areas. And what is it that can be done to get that back, some of the color back? Fortunately, within the last 5 years, there have been a couple of medications that can be used topically, and we've seen some good result with it. Currently, I'm doing a clinical trial with a medication that's already been approved for some other medical issues, but we found, as it's serendipitously, as we find oftentimes with regards to medications, we see that it works on something else. So what we're doing is we're looking into having a once-a-day oral medication for vitiligo, and the preliminary studies are very good.
So are you looking for people to participate in that study?
We're looking for people to participate in it, especially, we're looking for anyone, but especially with the darker skin, because of the contrast between, again, a porcelain white and dark skin like mine, it's really can be difficult. And these people who have this often suffer. Of course, you got people looking at them, not looking, staring at them, almost to the same thing. You know, I want to touch it. Is it the same there? And there's only difference is that they don't have pigment in that area. It's the same texture. They have the same feeling that's there. But it's never any nice spots, you know, around the lips, around the eyes.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to have something that those individuals who would like to improve, and even those who said, well, you know, I've learned to live with it. Learning to live with it doesn't mean that you feel good about it. And, you know, we're in the looks, we're in the beauty business.
We can't all be Winnie Harlow, who's got a perfect face and has sort of made her career with vitiligo on her face.
Very proud of her.
Yeah, she's beautiful. But in any case, if someone, now you're talking about people with vitiligo that
yes
to participate in this study.
Yes. If
someone was interested, how would they reach out?
A couple of ways. Dermstudies.com. Derm, D-E-R-M, studies, S-T-U-D-I-E-S.com is a way that you can get in contact with the office, where somebody will get with you. You can also reach our office calling 323-296-3376.
323-296-3376.
Yes.
So if folks are interested, you can find out more about what it means to be part of a study like that. But whatever the disease or ailment or, you know, cure, it seems like it's hard to get Black people to participate in studies, and maybe folks don't reach out too seriously, which results in us having things that may not be ideal for us, right?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. Yes, it certainly is difficult with regards to clinical trials. You hear that, and for those who are knowledgeable, they think back about last century about the syphilis studies and all that happened down in Tuskegee. There have been a multitude of legislative and laws with regards to what can be done and what can't be done. I won't go through the long list of them, but there's a huge amount of restrictions on what can be done. For example, we cannot pay people to get into the study. When you're in the study, we can pay for transportation. You don't pay for any medications and that, but we can't lure people in with regards to money. I think that there's two things. There are people who don't have a particular problem. Let's use the vitiligo, just like we said. There's people who don't have it and have an opinion about it and says, you know, I don't know if I would do this or that. Well, no, you don't have it. And then there are the people who have it. And I'm saying to them, the only way that we're going to be able to improve, the only way that we're going to be able to do the study, the only way that there is an opportunity that is safe and restricted is for you to be involved in that. Because what normally happens, the trials will go on, people of color are not included into them, and if there's any problems, we won't find out till it's already been on the market, and it's very, very difficult to try to make changes from there.
Wow. Talking with Dr. Paul Wallace. The doctor is in. If you got a question, 800-920-1580. Want to talk about some of the common skin diseases or discomforts that hit everyone, but especially Black folks. And I want to look a little bit, and we'll get into some beauty stuff.
Oh, the
you know, I always got to talk about the beauty stuff. Dr. Paul Wallace, Dominique DiPrima, KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Dominique DiPrima, and it's almost time to celebrate KBLA's 4th anniversary, coming up Juneteenth 2025. we'll be marking the achievement with 4 key community events, including a special symposium, luncheon, and brain trust hosted by me entitled The State of Black Women in Los Angeles. Keep it locked here for details on how to join us for this groundbreaking symposium examining the unique challenges, triumphs, and contributions of Black women in Los Angeles in the areas of education, healthcare, community leadership, cultural and political contributions. This public convocation will provide a critical forum to address the specific social, economic, and political realities facing Black women in LA today. We'll go live with a radio broadcast and YouTube live stream, a public discussion, and a private dialogue with some of LA's most impactful women. It's an affirmation of Black women standing at the intersection of race and gender in times of adversity while demonstrating remarkable resilience and leadership. We will listen and we will speak out and be heard, all in service of finding opportunities and solutions. Please plan to join us in celebrating our 4th anniversary by amplifying the voices of Black women. For more on our symposium and 4 events celebrating 4 years on the air, simply stay tuned or keep an eye on KBLA1580.com and help make this Juneteenth more jubilant with all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all day freshness.
It's me, Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. I see those dry elbows, baby. But don't worry, get moisturized right in the shower. So hydrated you can skip the lotion after.
Don't wanna see it dry no more. Skin so moisturized with body wash.
Look at you now, no more dry skin. Your skin gets the moisture it craves with
Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thank you for waking up with Dr. Paul Wallace, Dominique DiPrima, and your own well-being. The doctor's busy. Don't call him right now. 800-920-1580. You could call him here. And we have Eric from the city of Carson calling for you right now, Doc. Hi, Eric.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Dominique.
Welcome.
Well, thank you, Dr. Wallace. I just wanted to ask you, I have 2 associates that have vitiligo. The female, she's had it her entire life, and she's dark complected and it's severe. And I am going to, give her your information. The male developed it when he was in his late teens, and his is not as severe as hers. My question is, what causes it?
It is an autoimmune problem. We don't know why it happens, but the body pretty much attacks the melanin, the color-producing cells.
So your own body is having some kind of immune reaction and going after its own color-producing cells. And you said it won't cause other physical harm. It'll just cause the appearance.
Correct.
Spots.
It only deals and exclusively with regards to the color production. So in terms of it being involved with any other organs, or having anything to do with your overall health, it does not. So we're real fortunate with regard to that. Specifically, what we want to do is to be able to put color back in those areas that have lost it.
Yeah, there's another number that I can give you also if you want to reach out. Anyone listening want to reach out and be part of the vitiligo study. It's 323-296-0048, 323-296-0048. Did that answer your question, Eric?
It did. I just have one follow-up question.
Oh, great.
Can you hear me?
Yes. We're waiting for your follow-up.
Okay. The follow-up question is why did Michael Jackson, or the fact that Michael Jackson chose the route of taking the pigment out of the rest of his skin, was that an appropriate way to go?
Well, I can't answer it for each individual or Michael, of course, but there can be such a wide amount that's affected. I think you also said something earlier. It does not necessarily mean that the vitiligo is going to spread. Some people only have it on their fingers. Some people only have it on their face. It doesn't go over their whole body. No one gets it, and all of the pigment over their whole body will leave. However, some people would rather have one solid color and have to use makeup or protect themselves. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that puts color in, so the choice that they have is to take color out. Now, I do not do that with any regularity I have, but that person also has to go through a full psychologic evaluation, and I'm working in conjunction with that psychologist or psychiatrist if that happens. I am not going to just take the color out of any person because it's something I can't reverse.
Oh, you can't reverse it.
No.
So you would check and make sure you don't have a Sammy Sosa situation on your hands before you went ahead and demelanated a person.
Well, I'm not going to talk about any of my patients. Shh.
Anyway, does that answer your question, Eric?
Does. Thank you, doctor. I appreciate it. And thank you, Dominique.
Thank you.
I mean, it's certainly, if that was the option that you felt was the only way you could feel normal, it would be terrible to be made fun of for doing so.
Well,
you know?
We do have patients that don't have any pigment, and they have to live also. So
right, but it's not in spots.
That's correct.
I mean, yeah. And you always talk about how we want even toned skin. I have several
patients who are albinos. And,
you do?
Yes, and because everyone has skin, everyone has some skin problems. They have some different ones.
Albino means you have no visible pigment in your
correct.
skin.
The pigment is gone, so they may have never been born with it. It also could come at a later period of time.
Really, you can develop albinism
yes.
later in life? I did not know that. Wow, and so. I mean, those patients are just patients like any other patients. Correct. They're not trying to beget skin pigment. They're trying to have healthy, glowy, beautiful skin.
Right, and protect their skin because they are certainly more vulnerable to the UV rays. And folks who, we get back to our part on do we need to have sunscreen. I'm going to say there's two parts. They say, well, we have skin of color, so we're protected. And that's true. That's true. We have, if you were thinking of sunscreens, it would be an SPF, Sun Protective Factor 13. We need to have a minimum of an SPF 30, which blocks out 95 to 96% of the UV rays. That does not mean that you are laying underneath the sun. The UV rays can come through windows, they come through shades, and the saying that I have, if you can see sunlight, sunlight can see you. So you need to protect your skin with the sunscreen, and hopefully one that's totally transparent so the glow of your color can actually show that you don't have that white cast, that pasty look, or that nasty, sticky, goopy type of things on there. Find something that you like, that you can use consistently. It will protect you from fine lines and wrinkles, and like an old leather jacket that's been in the closet. You've got to oil and moisturize those things.
Well, I hate sunscreen. I'm not going to lie. I've spent most of my life without sunscreen on my face, but I do like your sunscreen. Wallace Skin Body Institute. Mm-hmm. It's sunscreen made by a black person, and surprise, it works really well on us. So, and you have actually a whole product line.
We have a whole product line, and that's because, first of all, when I made a decision that I'm pretty much exclusively going to work on skin of color, there was no line of products that were out there. Oh, I did, just like, again, I always talk about, it's almost like cooking. I took a little something from this one, a little something from that one, and put it together. But for Dominique, as you know, for 27 years, I primarily worked on skin of color people who are on-screen personalities, the large screen, the small screen. So these were challenges, especially if you can think of a dark-skinned person working a night scene, some of these police movies or that. The problem with regards to the makeup and almost that halo. All you old folks remember the black light and how things could glow in that. Well, unfortunately, some of those things happen with regards to the contrast that are in the makeup. So being able to have something that's completely transparent so that we aren't having this ghostly type look, as it said to me often, casket ready look. We want to, all of our products that we make, whether they be the sunscreens or the cleansers, the facial washes, the masks that we have, they're all made understanding about the stratum corneus, how thick the skin is and how much oil needs to be in it. Being able to preserve mother's milk, which I consider the oil that the skin makes. We don't want to take all those things away and say, hey, get something else and put it in. No, we want to preserve those, but take off the environmental dirt that you have that's been accumulated on your skin and give it the best opportunity to breathe, give it the best opportunity to have its natural glow.
Wallace Skin and Body Institute.com is where you can find a lot of this stuff, including a men's shaving system, which that's another area where black folks, we only have a minute before news, traffic, and sports, but where it's different for us, right?
Well, the brothers and sisters with brothers, they got to get it together. They can go with the jewelry and the bling and the rest of that, but taking care of the skin and being able to look younger. I mean, I'm proud to almost be 75.
What?
And
you're your own advertising campaign.
I try to tell it all the time. Water, water, water. But we'll get into that.
Drink water, drink water, drink. Yeah. Yeah, you do say that, which, is not a product you necessarily sell. You just wanted to drink it.
Yes. I don't care what type it is, but get it in. Quantity, 50% of your body weight in ounces per day. Strive for that. Sisters, it will decrease your risk of breast cancer, colon cancer, and cervical cancer by 65%. And brothers, it will decrease your risk for prostate cancer and colon cancer by 50%. Drink that water.
All right. If you do nothing else you heard today, do that. We're talking with Dr. Paul Wallace. We've got news, traffic, and sports, then more on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The Florida State University shooting suspect reportedly has white supremacist views. The one-time president of the political club at Tallahassee State College says the suspect was asked to leave the club because of his white supremacist rhetoric. The Midwest is dealing with multiple tornadoes affecting many black people. A large tornado was reported in Omaha, Nebraska Thursday night, and another was reported about 60 miles away in Essex, Iowa. Black people are reacting to the news of Luigi Mangione officially being charged in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangione has been accused of gunning down Thompson on a New York sidewalk back in December. There are reports the FDA is going to end most of its routine food safety inspections. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Attention parents of high school sophomores, juniors, and seniors. CBU is offering one 8-week online general ed course, free of charge. Courses are online. There's no application fee, and the first class is free. Classes start May 5th. Apply now at calbaptist.edu/PCC.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The final spot in the Western Conference bracket in the NBA playoffs will be determined tonight. Dallas is at Memphis tonight in the play-in round. The winner gets the 8th seed and will play at number 1 seed Oklahoma City in Game 1 of a best-of-7 first-round series. Starting times have been confirmed for the Lakers and Clippers in their first-round series. Both series start on Saturday. It's a 12:30 tip-off for the Clippers at Denver in Game 1 on ESPN. The Lakers ran home against Minnesota Saturday night, 5:30 tip-off on ABC. The UCLA women's gymnastics team advanced to the Final Four in the national championships. Jordan Childs, who won an Olympic gold medal last year, helped UCLA advance when she won the uneven bars title. UCLA joins Oklahoma, Missouri, and Utah in the finals on Saturday. You can catch the national finals live on ABC. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like it inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
At Exquisite Family Mortuary, we know how overwhelming it can be planning a meaningful farewell for your loved one. Secure your peace of mind by calling Charlotte White at 323-577-5562. That's Charlotte White at 323-577-5562. From traditional funeral services to memorials to direct cremation, pre-needs, and more. Call Charlotte White at Exquisite Family Mortuary for Southern hospitality in Southern California. That's Charlotte White at 323-577-5562. Exquisite Family Mortuary is located nearby in Inglewood, California. Exquisite Family Mortuary, where your loved one becomes our loved one. Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Dr. Paul Wallace is my guest. We're talking skin, your brown skin, your beautiful skin, whatever it looks like. Even if you're light-skinned like me, you're welcome into the conversation.
Absolutely.
800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. And actually, we all have the level of melanin in our skin is not necessarily directly correlated with how chocolate or light we are, is it?
Let me tell you something. We all have the same amount.
Really? Even white people?
We all have the same amount. It's a matter of, if you're thinking about if it's a car, think about how much you press on the gas pedal. So for folks who are and you know, it really relates in a variety of different ways, because if we think about it in terms of like that, of how fast you're going, you also understand that when you're going slow, there's a lot of things that you can see and you can do. When you're going really fast, you only need to make small tweaks, and that's been one of the problems with regards to skin of color. They think that they need to do big things to make changes, when we only need to do small things. Small adjustments can make a tremendous difference. So we see people being overtreated in one way and undertreated. One of the problems that happens in speaking of undertreatment, there are some skin diseases if I may.
Yes, please.
That are certainly we find to be more prevalent in black skin.
Is eczema one of those?
Eczema is one. That's the second one I wanted to talk. I'll talk about it first. We've learned to say, and eczema is somewhat, understand folks, it's like a garbage term. You just sort of throw it in. Oh yeah, that's eczema.
Oh, okay.
Eczema is dry, like dry skin, and there's a tremendous number of dry skin diseases. We commonly have what's called atopic dermatitis. Atopic dermatitis, which is a form of eczema, but it doesn't respond like general eczema. We've identified it. There are certain medications that we have specifically for it. And I'll give you a hint, folks. These are the eczema is usually on the inside of the arms, on the inside of the elbows. You might want to say it's behind the knees. You see people who can get it in the face, around the eyes, and around the mouth. You can get this hyperpigmentation. You can get this darkening that's there. But the children have it, and it's like they scratch and you can't figure out what's going on. They need to be properly diagnosed and have an appropriate treatment. It's not just if it's dry, wet it. If it's
put
wet,
some Vaseline on it.
Yeah, they are suffering. Everybody knows that you suffer with itching. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. To be able to stop, minimize the itching, then many of the wounds, many of the scars that I see, we did on ourselves. We couldn't stop that scratching.
Yeah.
Because if you break the skin, the likelihood of you having a scar there is really high. We need to intervene. We need to medically give you what you need. The second thing, hidradenitis. Hidradenitis is what we see that have a prevalence with regards to sisters in particular. Then it goes to Latinas. Then it goes to black men, and it goes down the line. This is one that is also autoimmune, but has been so much misunderstood and misdiagnosed. These are what we call boils or abscesses that can be under the arms, under the breasts, in the vaginal area, on the buttocks. And this has nothing to do with the hygiene of this person. This is an autoimmune thing. There's nothing that they are doing. They are not responsible for it. But, this society has really beat down. You must not have been taking a bath. You got a smell about you. Why can't you lift your arms? So right as soon as menstruation starts, we're finding that you can have this problem. It is disfiguring. It is painful. Pain is the number one thing that the patients who have this complain about. And there's been a large study that this society, here in the U.S., does not believe black women's pain. They say, no, you can't be in that much pain. You're still doing this or you're still doing that. They don't understand working through that, the reasons behind it and what suffering there is. But that means that it still needs to be addressed. And I believe every patient who comes into my office, I can't tell you whether you're in pain or you're not in pain, but I certainly can address those things that you say. And again, properly diagnose it. I recently went to Brazil looking for the same thing. I wanted to find out, was this just environmental? Was this just in the U.S.? Or are we finding this with black women around the world? I set up the framework. We're looking for the information to get in.
Wow. Yeah. So that hidradenitis and also eczema or atopic dermatitis, none of these are contagious, right?
None of these are contagious,
but
no.
Because I say that because my bonus daughter used to tell me people treated her in school like she was contagious.
Yes, and that's what they get. I mean, it's the stories that I could share, which is how horrible even family members treat individuals who have these problems. You can't be itching this much. It can't hurt this much. Why do you smell this way? Why don't you do this? It's horrible.
But treatable?
Treatable.
Yeah. So give out, you probably don't even know it, the office number. You can go to the
office
Wallace
number
Skin Body Institute. You know it. Okay.
3376 or 323-296-DERM, DERM.
3376 or
Yes.
Derm. Okay. He knows it. You should get a prize. Let's go to Jamal calling us from D.C. Hi, Jamal.
Hello. How are you?
Welcome, welcome. I'm blessed. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I can't complain. A fan of the show.
Thank you.
Great, learning a lot of information from this, so thank you for that.
Thank you for calling, brother.
Yes. So for my question, I would like to know, because on social media, there's a lot of different skincare routines, different serums, different vitamins. It kind of adds up on price. Do you personally have a skincare routine, maybe a basic skincare routine or a starter skincare routine for someone who's wanting to get into skincare, a melanated person, of course?
Fabulous question. Yes, we do. But I want to say, just in general, no matter where you are, whether you're in D.C. or here in Los Angeles, remember it's important with regards to cleansing your skin twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, hydrating. The hydration is based on how you feel. So there are some people who can use some very light serums. There's some people who have to use heavier creams to help block water there. But again, go back to the basics, which is hydration. If you hydrate, you're not going to feel as though that your skin is dry. If you hydrate, and understand this, water and oil, we all know that they don't mix. But the body's smart enough to know, says, well, wait a minute, if I produce more oil, I can trap more water in there. So for folks who are talking about, oh, my face is always really oily, up your water and be sincere about it. A minimum of doing 30 days on that. Test yourself. You'll find that that amount of oil decreases just with regards to your water.
So are you the half your body weight in ounces a day school? Like if I weigh 200 pounds, I'm supposed to drink 100 ounces of water?
Yes, 100 ounces sounds like it's a lot, but if you're awake for 16 hours in a day, we're talking about maybe 8 ounces an hour, 6 ounces an hour over the course of the full day. You can do that. And yes, if the person's 200 pounds, me. Yes, and a gallon, folks, is 128. So no, 100 isn't a gallon. 128 ounces is a gallon. You need to strive to get there. It's not so much just for your skin. Your overall health is going to benefit that for those with diabetes, for those with any other issues and or problems. Because in the end, looks count. In the end, how you look can be very much how you feel. So what we want you to do is to look your best so that you can feel your best.
Back to your question, Jamal, I go to Wallace Skin and Body Institute.com, and there are skincare sets. There's skincare. I mean, you've got some fancier routines and a real simple one. You have, the face wash, balanced moisturizer. How do I know this? And and the sunscreen, because I have them in my cupboard.
That's the basics. If you were to do a wash, a moisturizer, and a sunscreen, you would be in good shape. Now, we can get better quality ones of those all along. Don't get suckered into using more of the acids and things that are there to be squeaky clean. We aren't pots, so you don't want to try to go there. As I mentioned earlier, we want you to keep your natural oils. We just want to get the environmental dirt off of you, the dead skin that's off of you. And you can do that. If you have questions, I think it's more using gentle things than trying to use some configuration that you find on the internet. A
lot of the social media influencers, when you see their skincare routines, are they on the right track?
Well, they're getting paid, so their track is to do anything that says to get things need to make sense, and it's hard to say how not to be talked into something. But believe me, most of the people that you're seeing who are influencers had something good going before, like any other thing, advertising a product, but they don't actually use it. Showing it one time with them washing their face, it doesn't mean that that's what they use all that. Some do, of course, but everyone is pulling you for their dollar. Take your time. I would suggest going to a dermatologist and have some understanding of your skin. That's why in our office we do computerized facial analysis. We want to individualize the type of care that individuals have. Even amongst my children or my loved ones, we all have something a little bit different, and we want to be able to address that. And we have one of the best estheticians on the planet to help you with your skin.
Does that answer your questions, Jamal?
Yes, it does. I just have one more follow-up because I do have friends that have that recommended his office to me that have flown in from all over the country.
Wow.
How easy is it, or how does one go about setting up an appointment for either of your locations?
Well, you can certainly go to
Wallace Skin and Body Institute .com, Wallace Skin and Body Institute.com, or you can call the office 323-296-3376. Is that right?
That's right.
All right, I got it. 323-296-3376. It's a beautiful office, by the way. He's got paintings of black stars all over, and of course your memorabilia from being a fight doctor, and it's spectacular sort of palace of blackness.
and you get a special prize if you can name all the black Hollywood stars, or go to the Motown room and name all of the people who are on the wall.
Yeah. Good luck to you, Jamal. I'm glad you're thinking about how to take better care of yourself.
Thank you so much. You two have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
You too, Jamal. Called 800-920-1580. It's not too late to do the same. Dr. Paul Wallace and Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look, and unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at the gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
It's me, Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. I see those dry elbows, baby. But don't worry, get moisturized right in the shower. So hydrated you can skip the lotion after.
Don't wanna see it dry no more. Skin so moisturized with body wash.
Look at you now, no more dry skin. Your skin gets the moisture it craves with
Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Speed round indeed. We're almost out of time. Time flies. So you're going to have to come back and give me my beauty show.
Okay. All right.
My sexy summer hot.
Oh yeah, I
hot
wanted to talk about
man
that.
and woman
Oh, my
summer
goodness.
show. We'll do it because we've got
Summer's
questions
coming.
here. Yes, it is. It's almost upon us. Time to drink your water. Tinea versicolor.
Mm-hmm.
A
Tinea
fungus, you
versicolor.
said. Ew.
Tinea versicolor is, everyone, you're going to hate this, but we do have fungus that is on our bodies.
At all times.
At all times. It's not anything that's bad. This is not one of those that is changing your skin so much. Now, there are certain individuals who are sensitive to it. And if the numbers get to a certain level, they will have this discoloration. Not vitiligo, not porcelain, but they'll have lighter and darker areas, usually on the chest. It doesn't affect the face. Interesting, not the arms or the lower extremities. It usually stays just on the trunk.
But CW Real Estate says that they changed their detergents and toxic cleaning materials and it went away.
Possibly there could have been something that was there that exacerbated what's happening. Normally the treatment that we give is not an antifungal medication, but we'll use something like Selsun Blue. We'll use
a dandruff
the
shampoo.
dandruff shampoo.
Okay, I'm rushing you, Doc, because there's a whole bunch of stuff here.
All right.
Address skin and scalp issues stemming from celiac disease.
That's going to take too long, but the fact is that watching those individuals need to be careful with regards to their diet, and this is where we could do a whole small segment with regards to food and skin. Skin being the largest organ on the body, and sometimes it is the doorway. It tells us what's going on the inside.
Okay, and then talk about the importance of sunscreen. That one was for Peacock Jolie. Forensic accountant says talk about the importance of sunscreen when on blood pressure medication.
I wish we could talk, so I'm not quite sure what the question is, but I will say that there are certain blood pressure medications that can give make you more sensitive to UV rays, so using the sunscreen. And also understand that sunscreen at its max is only going to be able to maintain that for 2 hours. It takes 30 minutes from the time that you first apply it for it to reach its maximum protective properties. That will last for 2 hours, and then there's a decline. It doesn't fall off of a cliff, but for those people who are really sun sensitive, you want to be able to put it on 2 or 3 times a day. So you say, well, but I wear makeup. If you wear makeup, well, the most important time is, of course, making sure that you put it on prior to your makeup, and hopefully it's also a good primer. That's another story. But you want to have it at least once a day, that you put it on. You aren't going to be able to take your makeup off and put it back on.
Right.
Usually.
Your esthetician also turned me on to a makeup that has sunscreen
and there are
that
makeups
I could apply some mineral powder over.
The thing about it is if you put multiple sunscreens on, in other words, you have it in your
sunscreen
you have
on
it,
top of
well,
sunscreen.
Yeah, you have it in your moisturizer, you have it in your makeup, you also use one. They are not additive. It's not as though I have a 15 in my moisturizer and I have a 15
so
in my
30.
It's not 30. It's still 15.
Okay. Let's go to the phone. Laundry calling us from LA. Hello. Hi.
Doctor. Hello, Dominique.
Hello.
This is Landros. I'll take my answer on air. I'm almost 75 years old. My skin has been treated before by you, and it really worked well. But what's the best advice you can give someone who's a senior citizen to maintain good, healthy skin? I'll take my answer on the air.
Okay, thanks, Landry.
It's not too late. A number of people say, well, I'm too old for that. No, we have a tremendous number of people who are in my age bracket, in the 70s, and you can do things to help repair damage that has been done before, and you can help maintain where you are. Hydration, moisturization, and protection. They're the same, although we may be using different formulation on those things. And there are a tremendous number of procedures that we have that's not going to change you and make you 25 years younger. So we want to naturally allow you to continue with your vintage aging.
Your vintage greatness.
Yes.
how much reversal can be done? I'm not talking about surgical right now. I'm
Sure.
talking about through the drinking of water and getting facials, which you also offer, and that kind of stuff.
Well, it's according to what age they are, but let's say for someone who's 60 years old, we can certainly get them down into 10 to 15 years of looking younger. What's going on around their eyes, because your eyes often make you look either tired or not, to be able to get that more even in terms of that it's not sunken in, or trying to get some of the puffiness out. We want to do all non-surgical procedures that are there. So getting a symmetry with regards to color, decreasing pore size, minimizing bacteria count that someone has on their face, and being able to get the texture to be smooth. And we like to talk about that like a baby's butt. Those are things that can be done, and they can be done safely. They can be done with lasers. They can be done with chemical peels. But everyone should have a plan on what goes on. Too often I see people say, well, I got this, I found this on the internet, and they're doing things that may be opposite. The skin is very traumatized. Remember that whether it's the sunshine or the rain, so you don't need to have brushes. You don't need to have these harsh scrubs. You don't need to use sand on there. The skin is hollering, saying, look, I'm already being abused, so be soft, be nice, and be gentle to it. And if I might, I want to say one thing on this blessed day for me. It's in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19, and it states, do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? Your body is a temple, and you should take care of that. Folks, it says, well, I don't care. I'm not into beauty. Yes, you are. That's why you look in the mirror. Oh, I don't like, I'm not vain. Yes, you are. There's nothing wrong with looking good, and it's such a psychological, helpful thing for you to be able to look and like what you see. And that's what we want to do for whether you're coming to me or wherever you're going, whoever you see, I want you to be the best that you can be, look the best that you can be, so you can feel the best.
Dr. Paul Wallace, thank you so much for joining us. If you are, if you have vitiligo and are interested in the study, 323-296-0048, 323-296-0048. And thank you for coming in. Of course, Wallace Skin and Body Institute.com. Tavis Smiley is up next. He's got the best of Tavis Smiley, all of the highlights from the week that was on tap for you. Dr. Wallace just gave us our Good Friday words. And I think that's a great way to end it, remembering that our body is our temple. Like my mama used to say, history is now, and we're making it together. Until Monday, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The Florida State University shooting suspect reportedly has white supremacist views. The one-time president of the political club at Tallahassee State College says the suspect was asked to leave the club because of his white supremacist rhetoric. The Midwest is dealing with multiple tornadoes affecting many Black